Welcome back to Moving to Hampton Roads. In today's video, we'll continue our Kiln Creek series with two single-family neighborhoods, Edgehill and Westgate. My name's David Tortellini. I'm with eXp Realty, so stick around and we'll get right to it. Hey, before we dive into the neighborhoods, I noticed while I was editing this video that I kept calling Edgewater Edgehill throughout the whole video. So my mistake, Edgehill is actually another neighborhood up in York County. We are looking at Edgewater. I am so sorry, but I also did not have time to refilm the whole thing for that slip up. So please forgive me as we get into our video. All right, well, we're going to start in our first neighborhood of Westgate. So this is actually one of the larger communities in all of Kiln Creek with just about 300 homes. And they're going to range in square footage from about 1,675 up to around 2,700 square feet. And so, you know, with this neighborhood, we're actually going to switch around because, you know, I just want to get right into the first home here. And this is 1596 Winthrop. And this is a very common layout. So there are a ton of this exact home. This is 1,688 square feet. It's 3 beds, 2.5 baths, and this one recently sold for $340,000. So there are a whole bunch of this exact layout in this neighborhood. And then there are a lot more just traditional size as well. And so you're going to find them kind of interspersed throughout the whole community. And you know, with this neighborhood, you're going to find price ranges that really go between about $300,000 and $400,000 right now. You know, I think that pretty typical. You know, for that house that we just looked at, those are going to be in that like $325,000 to $350,000 range, depending on updates and all that. And then you're going to find that some of the larger very traditional style homes are going to be kind of in the mid to high threes. But this is a great neighborhood, you know. All the homes have garages. We're really close to the elementary school. So, you know, I have friends in this neighborhood and they walk their kid to school in the morning. So that's really nice. And you're actually right out by the 7-Eleven too. So, you know, if you're coming home from work or you just need to get gas on the way out in the morning, you can do that and all that good stuff. So really just a great location within the neighborhood. And it does also make it easy to get out from here out onto Brick Kiln so that you can get out to places like Lowe's, Home Depot, Trader Joe's, all that good stuff that's out on Jefferson. So, you know, in terms of total location within the neighborhood, it is kind of in the back. So, you know, it's not right off the entrance to anything, but it is, you know, it's nestled in the back. And that does mean that a good portion of this neighborhood, in fact, what's across from me, does back up to the airport. So it can be a little loud in this neighborhood sometimes. You know, it's you can probably hear it right now. You're going to get helicopters and airplanes, and you're going to just get some airport noise. So you better be okay with that. At the end of the day, it's not really a big deal. You get used to it really fast, but if you've never lived near an airport, it can be a little much at first. And, you know, one of the more interesting things about this neighborhood is that some of these homes are actually condo ownership. Now, this goes back to some weird thing that happened when they made this neighborhood. No one really knows why anymore. The best excuse I've heard is that the builder was trying to get around some zoning regulations and made them condo ownership so he could put a few of them closer together than is allowed by Newport News law. So some interesting stuff there. So what we have in this neighborhood is the standard Kiln Creek HOA of $104. And then you also have an extra $5 fee here because you're in Westgate condo. So that's kind of one of those more interesting things that's very quirky about this particular neighborhood. And so we're coming up on 1618 Winthrop right here. And so this is a bigger house. This is 4 beds, 2.5 baths, 2,470 square feet. And this recently sold for $380. So bigger house. One of the not the biggest in the neighborhood, but definitely a great example of what some of the larger homes, these 2,500, 2,600 square foot homes, are selling for here in the neighborhood. So that's a really good one too. But just overall, this is a neighborhood where in the past 6 months, 13 homes have sold. So it's pretty big, but people do come and go from here a lot. I think it's just an easy neighborhood to get into. Most of these homes were built in 93, 94. And so you're also seeing a lot of like roof replacements that have been done in the last 5 to 10 years. So that's nice. So if someone's looking to buy in here, you really shouldn't be looking at too much like old original stuff at any point either. And so we're really starting to see these homes get a lot of updates now because it's hard to believe this, but that's almost 30 years old. And so it's really time for some of these homes to see some updates. So every now and again, you see one that hasn't. It is a good opportunity to get a home at a value. But people are putting some some good money into these homes, and it's a great neighborhood, awesome for trick-or-treating, that kind of stuff. A lot of homes, a lot of people with dogs and all that kind of stuff, and really just one of the more solid neighborhoods in the area, easy to get into, and a lot of great options right here at what are still pretty reasonable prices. So what we're going to do is we'll hop in the car and we'll take a look around the neighborhood a little bit, and so you can get to see a bit more of Westgate. Alrighty, well now we're over in Edgehill. And so Edgehill is, across the street, across Kiln Creek Parkway from Westgate, and then just down the road a little ways. So still generally about the same area of Kiln Creek. And what you're going to find here is that this is a much smaller neighborhood. It's only about 90 houses. But what you're also going to find is that they're a lot bigger. And so you're really looking at homes here that go between about 2,000 and 3,000 square feet, with a few homes that are even a little bit above that. And because of that, you're mostly looking at homes that are selling in the kind of mid to high 400s. So, with there only being 90 homes in the neighborhood, of course, we don't see sales quite as often, but we are coming up on one of the more recent homes. So this white house right here, this is a 5-bed, 3 full bath home. It's 2,863 square feet and recently sold for $445. So one of the bigger homes, well, actually I should say for this neighborhood, it's a little bit above average. So there are plenty of homes here that are 2,800 square feet. And, there are going to be some that are a little bit bigger, but knowing that you can get in there for mid 400s, pretty good, especially with 5 beds, 3 full baths. That's, the owners of that one should be feeling pretty good about themselves. But, just being in that kind of just general same area of Kiln Creek means you're still going to be close to the elementary school. I'd say it's a little far, especially for a little kid to walk, and you do have to cross Kiln Creek Parkway, and which is a pretty busy road. I mean, Kiln Creek Parkway, people do go, 45 miles an hour down pretty regularly. I think the speed limit is only like 25 or 30, but people don't care about that. It's a 2-lane road. So you're really finding that, if you're asking little kids to cross the street like that, parents better be there with them. But, you're also, if you head, and that's if you come out of the neighborhood and take a right. If you take if you take a left, but if you take a right, you can head, and you're just a couple minutes down the road from like the park and big playgrounds and stuff like that. So we are coming up on our next home right here, 905. So this one's a little bit smaller. It's 4 beds, 2.5 baths, a little over 2,700 square feet. This sold for $440. So, you know, a little bit nicer inside on this one, as you'll see from the photos. But overall, I think that you're going to have the opportunity to really be in this neighborhood and get a really nice size home for a pretty reasonable price. You know, I think in, you know, if you were just to cross the line into York County, a home like this might cost an extra $100,000 more. So to be here in this great part of the neighborhood, there are plenty of homes that are on the golf course. So if that's concerning to you, you could be on either the 17th or the 18th hole. And then a bunch of these homes are also on water. So kind of like right where we started this video is water, and where we actually did our intro is one of the retention ponds for the neighborhood, but it actually is big enough that it's almost like it's like a lake. The thing's pretty darn big, so you can be on the water, you can be golf course in this neighborhood. You are interior, you're away from the airport, you know, unlike Westgate where we were. It's actually a little, you know, it's much more quiet here, even though we're a quarter mile down the street. So a lot of good opportunities in this neighborhood to get something with a little bit more size, a little bit higher price point than we were in Westgate. And then just in this neighborhood, you just have the 104 HOA due. You don't have to pay anything extra. So another good option here. Let's drive around so you can see the whole neighborhood, and then we'll wrap up for the day. Okay, well that is Westgate and Edgehill. If you have any comments or questions, please leave those below and we'll reply as soon as possible. Of course, my contact information is below as well, so you can always just reach out directly. I'll be sure to include a couple links in the descriptions for homes currently for sale in both the neighborhoods, as well as one for all of Kiln Creek. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and then share this with anyone you know who may be looking to move to the Hampton Roads area. My team and I are on standby, ready to help. Again, my name is David Tortellini. I'm with eXp Realty. Thanks so much for watching.